And we are live. Hello everyone, this is the Void Executive. Oops, I'm not sure why it's always doing that. There we go. Hello everyone, this is the Void Executive and welcome to the stream. Today it's going to be a very chill stream, to say the least. We are going to continue our drawing of the girl with the big jaws, and we'll see how far we'll go with this one. Let me check a few things. Okay, so how is everyone doing? I hope that this weekend has started on the right foot. Oh, also I forgot to mention, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I think it will be kind of fitting for today. Romantic day with a kinda romantic character. It's only a matter of perspective. So, let me show you our current progress, which is like so. One thing that I noticed when comparing the current stage that we are in with the initial sketch is the pose is a little bit different, and I think I'll need to change some of the proportions in order to make it more realistic. So I guess we can start with that. Also, this time we are trying a new playlist for the background music. Hopefully this one shouldn't have any copyright, but there's only one way to find out. There we go. Okay, so let's address the first big problem. Is that if you notice, the proportions and the way the mouth is placed, or the jaw rather, some position of the eyes, it's a bit weird and inconsistent. So what I think I'll try to do is to try and change that. In order to do that, it will be quite a pain if we tried to change every single layer, because we have so many different layers. So I will use a method that is particular. Let me show you. So I basically make a snapshot of the entire canvas. So I have one layer that's everything put together, and then I will use a filter called Liquify, in which it will allow me to modify certain elements on this particular layer, and then the same effect can be applied with all of the others. Now, before I do that, let me grab this one over here and keep it on the side as a reference. Something like so. There we go. Let me see if I can show you. Okay. Let me see if I can change something when applying this filter, so you guys can see. Nope. I guess you guys will be able to see the results after I have applied the filter. It won't take too long. It's just a matter of making these small adjustments to make the piece a bit more coherent with the very first sketch that we made. Actually, I think I can do something like this. Let me add display capture. It's a placeholder, but you should get the idea. So now you should be able to see what I am doing over here with, there we go, with the reference on the side. So I'm using this Liquify tool to do some very small adjustments in order to make it as similar to the original as possible. And then maybe lower a little bit over here. And then maybe do something like so. Okay, let's see. This is before and this is after. I think it's already quite a big change. Looks much better. And now we did this on this temporary layer, and now we can apply the same effect to everything else. We slowly do it. This one, the right one, okay. Liquify. Liquify. Do the same over here. It's a bit tedious, the process, but it's better than trying to manually do it every time for each individual layer. Okay. There we go. Let me turn off the other layers. think I made a mistake. Liquify. There we go. And now I think we can do the same. Ooh, I think there is still... Okay. Oh yeah, we can do the same in here for the background, but that can be easily fixable. There we go. See what other section need to be fixed. The tongue. Let's see. There we go. Okay. I think we can do another pass on this. I think we can change a few more things. Let me double check if everything was working fine. Yeah, it should be. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I think... let me see if I can make some other changes, but I don't think it will be too necessary. Let's see. It's those very small changes that make the difference. Maybe something about these teeth over here that may need some change. Let's see before and after. Yeah, much better. And now we repeat the process. Over here, here, we do it on every currently visible layer. There we go. Almost there. There we go. Yeah, I think this version is much better than how it looked before. Let me... no, let's remove this one. Okay. Now let me switch back to only showing the program, and we can continue normally. It's better to do these kind of changes early, because then you would save yourself a lot of time and frustration later. In fact, let's save just in case. Now I can grab my references. Let's see what we can improve. I mean, basically everything, but I think I'll try to develop the hair a little bit more. Oh. Okay. Music is picking right back up. So let me first try and find the sketch of the hair. Make it proper color. This one we can hide it at the moment. Let's make a copy of the hair. And then try to replicate the different hair types. Oh, I forgot it was on multiply. Let me switch it back. Maybe I need to be a bit more chaotic. like go wild with the strokes. Oops. Let's try and do something. A bit chaotic. There we go. I'll try to use a single brush. Okay. I mean, oddly enough, it's one of those things where when you try to do it, you think to yourself, this can't be working. And then, oddly enough, it works. It's just a matter of try and see how this can work out. Maybe I can do something like this. Okay, let me redo it. So what I'm trying to do is make some pattern in order to get the hair right. I think I can remove parts of the sketch that it's not needed. Moment. Let's remember that the light comes from the top in this direction. I think we can make a copy. And wait, let me see if I have the other. No, not this one. Let me try and make it on a separate layer, just in case. Maybe with a bigger brush. Something along those lines. I know it's very messy right now, but I think I have a solution. Right now I'm just doing some experimentation, see what works, see what doesn't. Because then we can remove some parts where it's not needed. And underneath we can add more. More areas. There we go. Yeah, it's slowly coming together compared to before, which was just like this. There we go. Yeah, something like a dark red of some sort. Okay. let's go back to this layer over here. I will overwhelm the hair with this color and then I will adjust the different values later. There we go. Well, I think it's already an improvement, even though we can always make it even better. So I'd say let's make a copy of this one and continue from here. Before I do that, however, let me fix something over here. And then over here, make it kinda pale or something. Let's see if we add a more simplifying filter. I mean, the effect is more or less the same. Let's make this level on multiply. Actually, I could do something like so. Lower the opacity and then add the highlights where necessary. Okay. Already a bit better. Now let's see if we can have some color dodge. First, let me check the values. Okay. Let's flip the image. Right now these hair are not as bright, so let me see if I can do something about it. Something like this. Then of course we need to go here and work a little bit on this spot. And maybe tone down the skin over here just a little bit. in this area. I think we need to change this part as well. There we go. Yeah, let me find some references real quick. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, these hair are very tricky to create. Let me show you the reference that I'm using, which is I'm trying to have these same hair more or less, and they are tricky to paint, but that's something that I really want to learn for myself how to do them. So I don't want to resort to photo bashing this time. Make it a personal challenge to try and replicate the same effect. In a realistic manner. Also, yeah, let's just hide the sketch of the hair altogether. maybe something I can try is a bigger brush and try to simplify the shapes. Maybe with some lower opacity, but I think this hair will be one of the elements of this drawing that will occupy my time the most. Okay, we are getting somewhere. Something like that. And over here we go a bit more nuts with the hair. Although I think over here we can delete some sections. Let's see how it may look like. Maybe with a softer gradient, maybe. then maybe warp it. So it's more like so. I think we need to fix this part over here first. Let's see how this one looks like with the simplified filter. Yeah, kinda. We need to make this area maybe a little bit darker. Maybe do something here as well. And then maybe try to replicate some lock of hairs in terms of position and how the different hair interact with each other. Now it's a matter of making the hair not as messy as it is, so it will be much more readable overall. Okay. Maybe have this area a bit more, a bit not as bright. Maybe add some shading this area. Let's see before and after. Yeah, it's much better. Okay. Let's save it just in case. I have a feeling that this stream will be mostly dedicated to the hair of a character, but since it's a very important element, just as much as the mouth itself. I mean, the mouth, even if it looks complex, it's not as tricky to create, at least for me in this case in particular. Because now that we have in here a palette of different colors and lights and shadows, I think it will grow more natural as we progress. There we go. Maybe with some multiply. Let's see how this one will look like. Let's check the values. Yeah, it's still a bit messy, but not too much. I think this also depends on the background that we have. Let me see if I can do something about this. Yeah, I think it already makes a big difference. So maybe have something like make it darker when it's light and light where it's dark. Or we could simply lighten this up in general. Hello, welcome to the stream. We are making some good progress. We've been working mainly on the hair of the character, which is proving to be quite tricky because of the type of hair that I'm trying to replicate. But with enough time we'll manage to reach the result we want to obtain. Now it's a matter of making it to the level that I want to obtain. Apologies that I could not join the last meeting. I was busy spreading democracy on Cyberstan. Oh, fair enough. I did my part as well. I have a theory, however. When we manage to liberate Cyberstan, that will not be the end of it. I don't think that's the true home world of the automatons. And the reason why I said that, because keep in mind, at the very beginning of the game, the automatons were not even in that area, so they didn't even occupy Cyberstan. Cyberstan was occupied later. So while I think Cyberstan is an important location, I don't think it will be over if we conquer that planet. Okay. Ah, I need to sneeze. 1 second. That's true, one time the automatons were pushed out of the map. Yeah. And then they returned. Bless you, thank you. Also, since this basically this is something like earlier they did the same thing with the Terminids, in which we went to their quote-unquote home world with the bosses. Now it happened with the automaton. The next one will be the Illuminate, I think. The theory is that the map is not the full galaxy. Maybe. I guess we'll see. Nice progress though, thank you. Yeah, I am a bit struggling, not gonna lie, but especially because of the amount of hair this one has. Maybe I should find some references of similar of maybe old paintings and try to replicate them. Let me see. Because most of the images I find, let me switch to Pinterest. Because lots of art is not as detailed. But yeah, something maybe like this. So this one is still very sketchy. Maybe if I can find something about because the style that I would want to reach is something similar to like 19th century paintings. Let's say maybe with old painting if it happened. Yeah, let's see. Although they are mostly darker hair, which are a bit easier to make. And these are relatively dark painting. Yeah, maybe something like this, although Jesus, it's very intimidating to say the least. Let's see some other examples. Something like this, maybe. This is the reference that I brought. Let's see if there are some similar examples. Though I think this one is a photo, so that's why it's also so high detail. I think this one is a good or maybe this one. This one is really nice. Still a bit very sketchy, however. Yeah, maybe something like this. Okay, first I think I need to do one thing, which is the flow of the hair. If I show you the image over here, you can see how they are not as wavy as over here. So I think I will try to achieve that look first. And in order to do that, let me switch back to full screen mode. Moment. Let's try over here. There we go. The reason I switched to that is because you can then see what I will try to do. Because when I capture the window, you won't be able to see this extra window over here. So this is the Liquify tool. It can be a very useful tool. I usually do it for balancing, for adjusting like proportions and stuff. But I think in this case we can do something like try and achieve this wobbly look of the hair. And of course some things will need to change, but for now I'm just experimenting, then we'll see. We may need to do some adjustments. But this is what I want to achieve. Overall, something this nature. Let me double check if you guys can see it. Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, something like this. Let's see before and after. I think it's slightly better. Now, of course, we need to work on this area a little bit. Maybe add some shadows where needed. Maybe with some good old multiply. Yeah, and do something along those lines. It's not perfect, but let's remove this and then adjust over here. I multiply once more, mainly for this area. Go back to normal. Okay. And maybe add some rogue hair that appear in the darkened areas. Let's check the values once again. Maybe we can lower the contrast. Let's see with and without. Okay. Yeah, I think I like it with some less contrast than usual. Now let's work a bit more on the skin over here. Mainly try to clean up some stuff. For instance, let's try to do something like this. Let's make this ear pretty again. And maybe actually, tell you what, let's put this one on top of the hair. Or maybe not. No, maybe not. I don't think it's necessary. Although we need to change. Actually, no, yeah, let's put it above the hair and then we'll fix that. And maybe make a duplicate of this area and merge it with the ear. There we go. And then over here, make the skin darker. And then above the ear, make something something simple. Like so. We go back over here and oh, wait. Let's cover this area right here. There we go. Apologies if I am a bit quiet, but it's one of those moments where you really lock in. Okay, let's flip the image one more time. Maybe the ear should be a little bit lower. Let me see. No, I think it's okay like this. Maybe. It's a problem with the jaw over here. There we go. Go back to the ear. We do something like so. Increase this area. Then let's go to the teeth over here. We can add something below the teeth and wait, first let me see. Let me change some of the lips. I think the lips should be above the mouth and the teeth. There we go. Let's do a quick cleanup of this sketch over here. Let's check how it is compared with the sketch. I think this one needs to be bigger and something like this. Okay. Now, since the background is this light blue, I think we need to think about adding that light affecting the rest of the drawing. Maybe we could start with the hair. Let me try and do this experiment. Maybe something a bit darker. Let me retry. Something that can be very subtle, but I think it makes the difference. Maybe something even here. And maybe on the skin here as well. I think we can get rid of this sketch area. Yeah, much better. Okay. Yeah, I think it's slowly coming together. I think we still need to do maybe something about this background. Let me see if I can maybe lower it a little bit over here. Again, doesn't have to be anything crazy, but and now I think for this area between the teeth and the skin, could do something like so. As if they were bleeding gums or something. Okay. We have around 1 hour left. I will take a very small break, small hydration and bathroom break. I will be right back. Oh. Yeah, is it still okay? There we go. Okay. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just noticed that I muted the wrong source, so I hope you didn't hear me gulping down my bottle of water. Apologies for that. Okay. Now, since at this stage I think it's a bit hard to check how it was before, let me open the file I usually use for the thumbnails and let's see. Let's grab the layer that I used for the thumbnail over here and see how is the progress compared to the start of the stream. Oop. Okay. Yeah, I think this is how we started today. Mm. And this is how it is now. Yeah, we changed the structure a little bit, so... And the shading, I think it's way better. But it's still far from perfect. So it's only a matter of continuing to work. Yeah, I'd say we can start adding some shading to the teeth over here. Since they are long overdue of a proper shading. Let me turn off the hair for a moment. Very... Oops. There's still a layer turned on. Yes. Okay. Bold. Okay. Start a darker area. Maybe this sketch we could make it like a dark color. Yeah, something like this. I think this can work. And then here maybe add some dark blood splatters. So we can kind of blend with the flesh beneath, which is this one over here. This part should be the darkest. Let's remove this part over here, clean things up a little. Same in terms of sketch. Okay. Let's go back to the teeth. Before and after. I think some areas of the teeth are a bit too bright. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we are getting somewhere, I think. Let's get rid of some of these. Especially over here, I think it's necessary. Same over here. Let's add our hair back. I think the chin over here needs some improvements. Let me see if I can do something about it. Something similar to the ear. Because it should be something like so. Let me see. some references. Let's make the jaw just a bit bigger. Full teeth, thank you. Maybe she can be your Valentine today. But yeah, the progress has been very steady overall. Most of the progress today has been done on the hair. So, for instance, let me see if I... Wait, did I not save it? Wait, let me do it again. Moment. So this is how it looked at the start of the stream. In the very first stream, it was at this stage. Then we went like this, and now this is the current situation. And now I am adjusting some things on the chin over here. Should bite? Maybe. I mean, I like to think that she has this monstrous appearance, but in reality she is the sweetest person you can find. Okay, let me do something like so. Okay, let me separate the layers of the hair. So something like this. She has great teeth. Indeed, she does. Welcome to the stream, by the way. If this is your first time here, I regularly stream, and in each stream I simply draw, just like what I'm doing over here. Now I want to do something which is, for convenience, I am separating the different parts of the hair, because this one will be placed on another area, which is over here. And I'll go here. There we go. For this one, let me fix it. I'm also an artist, but I can't draw like that. Well, it's okay. In time, you will reach any level you want. There we go. Welcome. Yeah. If this is your first time here, welcome to the stream and to the channel. Okay, let me bring this one down here. Something doesn't feel right. Okay, let me bring this one below. And then there we go. Yeah, so if you have any questions, if you want to know any tips about drawing or stuff like that, feel free to ask. You are more than welcome to do these sorts of questions. There we go. Let's see, what's this one in here? Something we can remove. And then we go back here to the chain area, which I think we can simply add to this part maybe. What is happening? There we go. I have almost 3,000 subscribers. I'm sure we will be popular too. Oh, really? That's nice. I have a question. How long did it take you to reach that amount of subscribers? This channel in particular is almost, let's see, so it's like 2.5 months old, and I am at this situation. I rarely upload any videos, mind you. I mostly do live streams and YouTube shorts. But I am curious to see how long did it take for other people to reach a certain number of subscribers. Okay. There we go. Now we can properly add some shading for the chin. Let me see if it's worth doing it. Yeah, maybe not this intense, but or maybe I can. Yeah, maybe something like that. Let me try something. Let's make the shadows more colored. Let's see if it looks. Yeah, it looks a bit better. Oh, thank you. Well, thanks for the sub. And good luck to you too. If you are interested, you can always check out the previous streams on the YouTube channel. I'm also streaming on Twitch if you are someone who uses that platform. And I have some YouTube shorts that, if you want to know some tips and tricks, they may help you out. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you like what I do. Although I still think there is still room for improvement, but in due time we'll manage to reach a level of quality that satisfies me. But I think this one can be a good stopping point. The progress has been really... Actually, no, wait. We still have some time. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Okay, never mind. Let's see what other areas we might improve. First, let me flip the image. I think... let me make a quick comparison with the sketch. I think the face over here needs a facelift, let's say. Actually, first, let me darken this area even more. And then try to improve this area over here. I also want to try and do something. Let me just check. See you. Thanks for coming. Next stream is on Monday. Let's see. Yeah, let's try to improve this area over here. And I think we can improve that by making a layer on top of this sketch. Okay, and then the darker area here. Determine the shadow. Let's do the same over here. There we go. Okay. I think this area still needs some improvements, but let's try over here. Maybe that's for different layer. Yeah, let's just remove it. Let's save. Then very dark spots here for the nostrils. And something like this with some shading. Yeah, I need to fix her nose because it's not the best looking nose at the moment. Okay, it can work, but it needs some refinement. Right? There we go. Let's make this one something like this. Yeah, kinda. Let's polish some other areas over here. Same over here because it's too white in this area. Darken the area a little bit more for these darkest parts. Maybe I can try and use the smudge tool. Let's see. Oops. Try and blend things over, but I don't know. Let's try with something with a lower opacity. Okay. Yeah, the nose is a little bit prettier compared to how it was before. Check if everything is working correctly. Yes. Let's work a little bit more on the teeth over here. Go. And of course, I think we should work on the teeth over here. Although, let me do an experiment. Okay, let's try and make them like so. something like this. Here we make it a bit darker. The color of the tongue, let's make it like so. There we go. Let's check the values once again. It's good, but I think this part needs to be even darker. And then over here, let's make it a different layer. Okay. Let's see with the colors. A little bit better. yeah, I think the progress today has been really something. I think this drawing will be able to finish it in the next stream, or if not in the next stream, in the one right after. I think there are still some things we need to fix. Mainly the values in the composition. I think those need to be balanced a bit better. I think what we'll do in the next stream is to make some research about some good values that we can then adjust over here for a better composition. Because the colors overall, they are over there, even though I think we still need to work on the skin, because I think it's a bit too saturated and not as pale as the original one. I am happy although with how we fixed some proportions, and of course the amount of details that we have added. But yeah, I think what we'll do in next stream is research some references for both the... Wait, maybe I can try to do something right now, but it will be something that will focus more in the next stream, which is mainly the lighting, the color balance, stuff like that. So, for example, let's okay, let me do something like let me find the ear over here. Ear over here. Actually, yeah, let's do with the rest of the skin. So we make the skin a bit more pale. Wait, I am noticing something. Why is it? Okay. There we go. Place this one on top. Remove these ones. Okay. Hue saturation. We desaturate the skin of our character. Now the ear here is an exception because it's a separate layer, but we can always adjust that. In fact, let me simply duplicate it and apply it to the ear. Because we want to keep this mouth area the most the brightest in terms of colors and saturation. So let's do just that. Let's make it more bloody and saturated. Maybe same with the lips. Yeah, I think it will work a bit better. Maybe we add some exception here around the face, maybe, or in things like the nose, which is usually very it's usually more saturated compared to the rest. The ears also. Although not too much, because it would be kinda weird. Maybe the eyes, but over here keep it so instead of being all too colorful like this, do it only in necessary areas. It certainly changes the overall mood, but that's kind of the point. Then of course I think these touches in with the color and stuff can be done at the very end. Okay, yeah, I think we can conclude it here for today. This drawing will be continued next Wednesday, whereas on Monday we'll continue with the drawing that we started yesterday, which was the supplicant of the ice version of the supplicant. Let me just save it and click the image once more. Okay. What can I say? Very chill stream as always, as it always happens during the Saturdays. The progress over here compared to last stream was astonishing, to say the least. Very happy with how the hair turned out, although I think we can improve that even more. That will be something that we'll address in the next stream. What else? I really hope that this new lo-fi chill music playlist won't have any copyrighted material. Fingers crossed. We'll know once the stream is finished and uploaded on YouTube. That's really something I want to get it right, because once I'll be able to have the channel monetized, having flagged content, even if it doesn't result in a strike or a copyright takedown, it will hinder the monetization. So yeah, I guess we'll see each other on the next stream, which is on Monday. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you again. Happy Valentine's Day. For those who have someone, for those who don't but who will have in the future. I think this can be a good way to conclude today's stream. Happy Valentine's Day, and I hope you guys will have a very wonderful weekend, especially a chill one. Having said that, this has been the Void Executive, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend, everyone.